Bog kaže, Bog je ljubav.
Twice it says in 1 John 4, God is love.
Dva puta kaže, Bog je ljubav.
So if we put that together with the Genesis,
Ako to zajedno spojimo sa postankom,
we are created in the image of God,
mi smo stvoreni na sliku Božju,
and God is love.
a Bog je ljubav.
So we are created to be loved and to love.
Dakle, mi smo stvoreni da budemo voljeni i da volimo.
We are created for love.
Mi smo stvoreni za ljubav.
We are created to receive His love
Mi smo stvoreni da primamo njegovu ljubav
and to be a channel of His
i
love.
da budemo kanali njegove ljubavi.
And it really is that simple.
I to je uistinu tako jednostavno.
Someone said to me at lunchtime that she said, I love your teaching, it's so simple.
Neko bi rekao za vrijeme ručka, volim tvoje poučavanje, to je tako jednostavno.
I took that as a great compliment.
To sam uzeo kao veliki kompliment.
I love to be simple.
Ja volim biti jednostavan.
To me, the message of God's love is very simple.
Poruka da nas Bog voli, to je jako jednostavno.
It is not
I
complicated.
nije komplicirano.
And in Matthew,
U Mateju,
Jesus gave us
Isus nam je dao
the great commandment.
veliki nalog,
Matthew 22,
veliku zapovjed u 22. poglavlju,
verse 34.
34. redak.
Hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, the Pharisees got together. One of them, an expert in the law, tested him with this question. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?
Kad farizeji doznaše da je ušutkao Saduceje, okupiše se te ga jedan od njih, učitelj zakona, upita s nakanom da ga kuša. Učitelju, koja je najveća zapovjed u zakonu?
Yeah, the Pharisees were really great fun. They were great fun, the Pharisees.
Farizeji su mi velika zabava inače.
You would really want to invite the Pharisees to your party.
I stvarno voli na svoju zabavu pozvati farizeje.
They were just like a cloud of miserable mosquitoes.
Kao jedan očajni oblak komaraca.
Because they were obsessed with the law.
Jer su oni opsinuti sa zakonom.
The law says this.
Zakon kaže ovo.
What do you say, Jesus?
Šta ti kažeš, Isuse?
Well, Jesus died for us, dealt with the law,
Vidite, Isus je umro za nas i riješio zakon.
dealt with sin on the cross,
I riješio je grijeh na križu.
dealt with all legalism on the cross,
I riješio je sve legalizme na križu.
and He comes now and gives us the new commandment
I dolazi i daje nam nove zapovjedi.
to this group of miserable mosquitoes.
Ovoj grupi komaraca.
I mean, they were horrible, really
Stvarno
horrible.
su grozni.
They followed Him everywhere,
Pratili su ga svuda gdje god
just
išao.
like a cloud of mosquitoes.
Baš poput jednog oblaka komaraca.
Just constantly trying to say, come on, what's the greatest law?
Stalno su dolazili kao da dolaze, šta je najveća zapovjed?
Verse 37, Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself.
On mu odgovori, ljubi Gospodina Boga svoga svim srcem svojim, svom dušom svojom i svom pameti svojom. To je najveća i prva zapovjed. Druga je to jednaka, ljubi bližnjega svoga kao samoga sebe.
This is a really complicated list.
To je zaista jedna komplicirana lista.
Can you remember this list?
Možete li se sjetiti ove liste?
Number 1, love. Number 2, love.
Broj 1 ljubav, broj 2 ljubav.
If you come tomorrow morning, I'll test you to see whether you remember this.
Sutra dođeš ujutro, ja ću te testirati da se sjećaš ovoga.
This is the complicated list that Jesus
To je
gives us.
komplicirana lista koju nam Isus daje.
Love God, love your neighbor.
Ljubi Boga, ljubi svog bližnjega.
Actually, Jesus is a bit sneaky because he throws a third commandment in here as
Ali Isus
well.
je tu malo i lukav i stavlja još jednu zapovjed skrivenu u ovome.
Because he actually says, love your neighbor as yourself.
Jer on u biti kaže, ljubi svog bližnjega kao što samog sebe voliš.
So I actually have to love myself as well.
Dakle, moram ja i sam sebe voljeti.
Because if I don't love myself, how can I love somebody else?
Dakle, ja sebe ne volim kako mogu u drugog voljeti.
So now the list is getting longer,
Ovo znači, lista se produžava sad.
more complicated.
Mnogo komplicirano.
Now it's love, love, and love.
Sada je ovdje jednom ljubav, ljubav, ljubav.
How long is the list going to be?
Mislim, koliko će se produžiti više ova lista?
This is Jesus telling us the greatest commandment.
Ali ovo Isus sama govori kao najveću zapovjed.
Why have we made it so complicated?
A zašto smo mi to učinili jako komplicirano?
Why are we still obsessed with legalism and the law?
Zašto smo još uvijek opsjednuti sa legalizmom i sa zakonom?
This is freedom.
Ovo je sloboda.
I am created for love.
Ja sam stvoren za ljubav.
The 3 commandments Jesus gives me are love, love, love.
3 zapovjedi koje meni daje ljubav, ljubav, ljubav.
In my simple little brain I can remember that.
U mom malom jednostavnom mozgu ja to mogu zapamtiti.
And that's how I want to live.
I tako ja želim živjeti.
When people come and try and have some complex theological argument with me,
I onda ljudi dolaze, hoće sa mnom održati neke komplicirane teološke rasprave.
I just tell them that I love them.
Da im samo kažem da ih volim.
It's amazing how that irritates people.
I zanimljivo je kako to njih iritira.
I want to have a discussion with you.
Ja želim s tobom ovo raspraviti.
Oh, I love you so much.
O, ja te toliko volim.
No, I want to discuss this.
Ne, ovo hoću raspraviti sada.
No, there's nothing to discuss. I just love you.
Nema tu šta raspraviti, ja te volim.
They get really irritated.
Stvarno su iritirani.
I'm not interested in some complex theological discussion.
Ja nisam zainteresiran za neke kompleksne teološke rasprave.
If God so loved the world,
Ako je Bog toliko ljubio svijet,
this is for everybody.
ovo je za sve.
This is for the people who cannot even read or write.
Ovo je čak i za one koji ne znaju ni čitati ni pisati.
The people who will never ever read a Bible in their
I
lives.
za ljude koji nikada neće pročitati Bibliju u svom životu.
People who are totally uneducated.
Ljude koji su potpuno neobrazovani.
And God loves them just as much as He loves us.
I Bog voli njih jednostavno kao i nas.
Because God loves the world.
I Bog voli svijet.
So it will never be something that you understand or learn intellectually.
Znači neće biti...
Expect to repeat what I just said. It will never be something that we learn in our brains.
Znači neće biti nešto što ćemo učiti u našem umu.
It's something that we live as a way of life.
No.
It is something that comes from our hearts, not our mind.
Znači to je nešto što dolazi iz našeg srca, a ne našeg uma.
That what God expects of me, wants me to do,
A to što Bog očekuje da radi,
is to love.
jer to je da voli.
That's it.
To je to.
That's really difficult, isn't it?
To je zaista komplicirano, tako?
And He even helps me to do that,
Čak mi pomaže to vršim,
because as He fills me with His love,
jer kako me On ispunja svojom ljubavlju,
I can love others.
ja mogu voljeti druge.
I know that one day I will forgive my son-in-law.
Ja znam da će jednoga dana oprostiti svome zetu.
One day I want to sit down with my son-in-law.
Jednoga dana ja želim sjesti sa svojim zetom.
I mean, at the moment he won't let me near him.
Od trenutka kad mi bude dopustio da dođem k njemu.
He's probably quite wise.
Vjerojatno je sad vjerojatno vrlo mudar.
But I want one day to be able to sit down and show him Father's love.
Ali jednog dana volio bih sjesti do njega i pokazati mu očevu ljubav.
Not to interrogate him about why he's done these horrible things to my daughter.
Ne da bi ga sada pritisnuo s time zašto učinio te grozne stvari moje
I want
čeri.
to show him Father's love.
Samo mu želim pokazati očevu ljubav.
I want with all of my heart to be able to forgive him.
Želim svim srcem da mogu biti sposoban oprostiti mu.
Right now, I'm not in that place.
Upravo sada nisam na toj poziciji.
That is a particular area of work in progress in me.
Upravo to je područje gdje sada Bog radi na meni.
Because at the moment I'm totally focused on picking my daughter up and looking after my grandchildren.
Jer ja sad jednostavno sam u fazi kako da pomažem svoje čeri i svojim unucima.
Can't even think about him.
I ne mogu sad misliti na njega.
But one day I want to do that.
Ali jednoga dana želim to učiniti.
Because I do not want things in my heart that will block the fullness of God.
Jer ja ne želim da postoji jedna stvar koja će blokirati puninu Božje ljubavi u mom srcu.
I can't go preaching love to the world if I've got unforgiveness and bitterness in my heart.
Ja ne želim ići propovedati svijetu, govoriti o ljubavi kad imam u svom srcu nepraštanje i gorčinu.
So I don't want those things to stay there.
Ja ne želim da te stvari ostane tu.
I want my heart to be free.
Ja želim da moje srce bude slobodno.
And I want the fullness of His love to overwhelm me.
Želim puninu njegove ljubavi da bude u mom srcu.
That's my personal battle at the moment.
A to je moja osobna bitka ovog trenutka.
But God knows my heart.
Ali Bog zna moje srce.
He knows that I really do want to be free.
Ali On zaista zna da ja stvarno želim biti slobodan.
That I want to be able to do the impossible.
Da bih mogao učiniti ono nemoguće.
Yeah, when you put it on the screen here, the 70 times 7, like the forgiveness scripture.
Kad ste ovdje stavili ovaj stih koji kaže koliko puta treba oprostiti 7 puta 70.
Well, Jesus taught us to Matthew about how many times do you forgive.
Kad Isus rekao koliko puta treba oprostiti u Evanđelju po Mateju.
And it's not actually about numbers.
nije stvar u brojevima,
It's about a lifestyle choice.
nego je to izbor životnog stila.
Now this is going to be a bit depressing, but we're going to be forgiving people for the rest of our lives.
Ovo može biti depresivno, ali do kraja života ćemo opraštati ljudi.
Oh, great.
Baš dobro.
Thanks, Jeff.
Hvala ti, Jeff.
But that's the reality of life.
A to je stvarno života.
We're surrounded by people who don't know God, don't know Jesus.
Okruženi smo s ljudima koji ne poznaju Boga, ne poznaju Isusa.
People will hurt us, say horrible things to
Oni
us.
će nas povređivati i govoriti nam grozne stvari.
I mean, even our Christian brothers and sisters do that to us.
Čak i naša kršćanska braća i sestre nam to čine.
So we're going to learn God's way.
I učit ćemo onda na Božji način.
Love, love, love.
Ljubav, ljubav, ljubav.
Forgive, forgive, forgive.
Oprosti, oprosti, oprosti.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Milost, milost, milost.
That's God's way.
To je Božji način.
And as we receive His love, so we are able to give it.
I kad vidimo njegovu ljubav, i bit ćemo sposobni davati.
That's why I repeat, this is not a program that we learn, it is a revelation to our hearts.
Zato ja to ponavljam uvijek. To nije program koji mi naučimo, nego je to otkrivenje našem srcu.
And even when I teach this myself, I think, that sounds too simple, Jeff.
Čak i kad on poučava, kaže nije to baš tako jednostavno.
But it is simple.
Ali to jeste jednostavno.
In His ability, I can do all things.
U njegovim sposobnostima i mogućnostima ja mogu sve učiniti.
Paul talks about we are conquerors through Christ.
Pavao kaže da smo mi pobjednici kroz Krista.
Thus we are conquerors through His love.
Mi smo pobjednici kroz njegovu ljubav.
In God's love, I can do everything.
U Božoj ljubavi ja mogu učiniti bilo što.
In God's love, I can forgive the unforgivable.
Ja u Božoj ljubavi mogu oprostiti ono neoprostivo.
In God's love, I can love the unlovable.
U Božoj ljubavi mogu ljubiti sve one koje inače ne mogu ljubiti.
And that's not a burden on us. That's not a pressure, a heavy load.
To nije teret, to nije breme nešto što nas jako pritišće.
Because it's all about Him, not about me.
Riječ je o njemu, ne o meni.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, Jeff?
Da, Jeff?
Da, Jeff?
Yep.
It is that simple.
To jeste tako jednostavno.
And I so want to see church, wherever I go, walk in that simple truth.
Gdje god idem, želim vidjeti crkvu kako hoda u toj jednostavnoj istini.
God does not want me to be like a Pharisee.
Bog ne želi da ja budem poput farizeja.
Does not want me to go around judging and condemning.
Bog ne želi da ja idem okolo da osuđujem i da sudim ljude.
I don't have the right to judge anybody.
Da nemam pravo nikoga suditi.
My Father's expectation of me is that I will love.
Očekivanje od Boga Oca prema meni je to da ja ljubim.
Love, love, love.
Ljubim.
Are you still with me?
Ste još uvijek sa mnom? Pratite?
Tired?
Umorni? Ne? Da.
Truth on truth.
Ajmo istinu na vidjelo.
Oh, Father, help us.
Oče, pomozi nam.
Help us to walk in this.
Pomozi da hodamo u ovome.
To live in it every day.
Da živimo to svaki dan.
You know, we are so used to struggling with shame and guilt.
Mi smo toliko navikli da se stalno bavimo sa sramotom i krivicom.
God is never ashamed of us.
Bog nikad ne srami nas.
He sent Jesus to die for our sin.
On je poslao Isusa da umre za naš grijeh.
And on our bad days, because we'll all have bad days,
Naravno da imamo loše dane, svi imamo loše dane.
when we say things we shouldn't say,
Kad kažemo stvari koje ne bi trebali reći,
do things we shouldn't do,
učinimo stvari koje ne bi trebali raditi
we go down,
i onda jednostavno potonemo,
Father never gives up.
Otac nikad ne odustaje.
He picks us up
On nas podiže,
and He says, come on,
kaže hajmo,
keep going.
nastavimo dalje.
Don't forget, love, love, love.
Ne zaboravi ljubav.
He will never ever stop loving us.
On nas nikada neće prestati voljeti.
The greatest lie that we can believe is that God will give up on us.
Najveća laž koju možemo vjerovati to je da će Bog odustati od nas.
Romans tells us nothing can separate us from the love of God.
Rimljanima kaže, ništa nas neće odvojiti od ljubavi Božje.
God is a faithful God.
Bog je vjeran Bog.
He doesn't give up on us.
On ne odustaje od nas.
We give up on Him quite a lot,
Mi vrlo često odustanemo od njega,
but He doesn't give up on us.
ali on ne odustaje od nas.
Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to pray over us. It's late, so I'm not going to offer individual prayer tonight.
Ja ću se večeras moliti nad vama, a neću ponuditi osobnu molitvu.
But I just want to pray over all of us corporately.
Neko želim nad svime ovako odjednom moliti.
And if you want, really want to walk in love, love, love,
I ako stvarno uistinu želiš hodati u tome ljubi,
and you want all of the other stuff that's in your heart to be gone,
i da želiš da sve druge stvari iz tvog srca budu nestale, da odu,
I'm going to invite you like I did last night, just to stand.
i pozvaću te kao i jučer, pozvaću te da ustaneš.
We are tired.
Mi jesmo umorni.